Hi everyone and welcome to Top of Their Game. Today we're at the beautiful Pyrmont with the gorgeous Harbour Bridge behind us. And I'm joined by General Manager of Di Jones, Kylie Walsh. Hi Kylie.
Hi Amanda.
Kylie's someone I've admired from the first moment I saw her presenting at the Women in Real Estate Conference about 7 or 8 years ago. And she's very driven, which I really admire. And she's driven to make the team at Di Jones and the brand synonymous with service excellence and cutting edge technology, and a woman of action like myself, which I really do like. How are you, Kylie?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah,
what a day.
I know, thanks for joining me. So Kylie, tell me, how did you start in the industry?
Oh look Amanda, it went back to high school actually. My year 10 work experience was real estate and I loved it and I was addicted from then.
Wow, love that. And when was that?
In Tamworth, and
Yep.
I did work experience for a Ray White office. I had my second week booked at a solicitor and I cancelled it and stayed 2 at the real estate office.
Oh, I love that. And where did you go from there?
So after school I went to business college because my parents thought that would be a good backup, and as soon as I finished business college I got a job in an agency on reception.
You went back to your passion.
500%.
Oh, that's great. And what's your why? Why do you do this? Why real estate?
Look, I think it's changed over the years. So look, I'm going to be completely honest. When I first got into it, it was for the money. I wanted to have a nice car and I wanted to carry a briefcase and look shit hot. And,
And I'm sure you did.
and that's certainly changed over the years. So in the last 10 years, I've grown a bit more of a brain and got a bit more mature. And my why's for my kids. That's
Yeah.
why. I work for education for my children and to do nice holidays because I don't spend a lot of time at home. And when I do, I want to turn off and I want to give them the best that they can ever have.
Yeah, completely agree. I'm exactly the same in that regard. And what would you say your biggest challenge at the moment is?
Look, I think my biggest challenge is in the changing market is the counselling we're having to provide our agents with. It's very tough out there at the moment, and I think with all the noise with tech platforms and other software that's coming, no one knows where to sort of start or stop. So our job at the moment is to really try and retain our agents, get them through a difficult market, train them up in what they need to be trained at, because I believe the functionality of an agent has fundamentally changed over the last 2 years. We don't want them doing what they've always done, and with our concierge services and our tech platforms, we need to try and change that behaviour for the agents that have been around for a long time, let them let go of some things, trust in the systems and processes. But being in the management team, our ops team have just got to stop sitting in front of a different supplier every week and looking at a different tech platform and realising that nothing will get a deal done like a good conversation with a client.
So I remember you being on a podcast at the beginning of the year and you mentioned that you've started a new platform where buyers can actually go into your database and have a look at how many real qualified buyers there are in their price point for their properties.
Yeah, look,
how's that going?
Great. We've done a lot of research over the last couple of years around what the consumer wants and not what the real estate agent thinks the
Yep.
consumer wants. But real live data and surveying with our clients and going out and doing face-to-face interviews in the field on Saturday at auctions, etc. And they want to be in control of the transaction. No one likes a real estate agent, unfortunately. So building up that trust and that credibility. So when we launched our new website in February, it was all about having an API into our database and without breaching any confidentiality or privacy laws, is being able to let people go in and see how many appraisals were in the system. So trying to get off market, on market, and having a look as to how many qualified buyers that we've got available as well.
It's just so cutting edge and it's so different to what everybody else is doing, and it's something that I admire about you and the Di Jones brand is that you're always thinking of ways to make that experience better for the customer, which is what we do obviously for our customers on the buy side. So I think it's a really interesting tool.
We're really lucky because our operational team all have the same ethos about customer experience, and we've got some great people in the team who are very tech savvy, and having our own IT manager and our own systems manager, and Rob, our CEO, has got a background in tech as well. So when we all get together and having great minds around a table, only positive outcomes come from that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the challenges that you've faced in the brand over the last few years, because there has been such a difference in the market, how do you think they've changed or shaped the brand to what it is now?
Look, I think for us, it's always been an incredible brand. I mean, Di and Bill Jones built an incredible brand and it's always been great. It was more evolving, I guess, into the markets that we wanted to go in and what we wanted it to be synonymous with. So the business has built fundamentally over the last 4 or 5 years on migration data. So where our buyers, tenants and vendors are coming to and from is everything that shapes our business. And being able to have a centralised database for all of our offices that we all tap into gives us a central view of the customer.
So good.
And the analytics you can pull from that and the cross referrals is mind-blowing, and what we can do with that data and our auction numbers and etc. has able us to move much quicker, be more agile and make better business decisions.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I found really surprising when I first moved into this industry is that everybody, or a lot of brands, have silos, people working under the brand, and they have their own databases that don't get shared within the office. So I might have a buyer and I speak to one person in another company, I won't name a company, but they don't speak to their friend that's sitting next to them because they have a different database and they keep that all secret. And
yeah, it's crazy.
Just to me, it doesn't make fiscal sense. For the company, you could be selling a lot more real estate by having that one shared vision and one shared brand and one shared database.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, to be fair to sales agents, because I was one for 17 years, and often they're not on salaries, they're commission only or conjunctional, and they are thinking about the next deal. So it's all those auxiliary products that you can monetize to sell in for a better experience for the customer.
Yeah.
But importantly, that journey. So we've found from our research that if we can keep that customer with 3 different products or transactions in the ecosystem, they will actually never leave us. So that's been fundamental in the change and the growth of the business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of my things in HighSpec is to be a trusted advisor for my clients. So I've got clients that I might have bought 3 years ago and they need a plumber. They still give me a call.
Yeah,
and
it's so important.
Whatever that is, and they feel comfortable or confident enough. And some of them will send me images because they know how passionate I am about interior design. And they'll show me images of a couch that they've got. What do you think of this one? I love that. I actually love being more than just a person that found them a property. Yes, and I think that's quite similar synergies within Di Jones too.
And look, obviously with the growth we've had, it's harder and harder for us to provide that concierge service on the phone. So we still have fundamental touch points where that happens, but being able to tap in some really good AI and automation around that for our agents, so we can still, the bigger we get, provide that same level of experience and service offering, and not lose that experience that we have. But we don't let the agents touch everything anymore. So there's too much now. So like when I was in sales, for my 21st, I got a drill, a post-hole driver, a measurer to do my own floor plans. I mean, those days are gone.
Yeah.
And I think now it's which tech platform do you go for? And, my job and Rob's job and our ops team is to make sure that we analyse that, test it, and then go to the agent with what's right.
Yeah.
Because I think there's too many agents testing things.
Yeah.
Takes their eye off the ball. And at the end of the day, all we want them doing is negotiating a deal and talking to our customer and keeping that face-to-face contact.
Yeah, that's
Same
what they're
for property
there for.
management. That's all we want them doing.
Yeah, I agree.
We can take care of the rest.
And what do you think are the key attributes that make a good leader?
Look, I think the first thing is knowing your team. And look, I'm a big believer. I used to have an open door policy. I don't have that anymore. I just think that's inefficient and ineffective. My team have full visuals over my calendar, so they know that when they can, book a meeting or a time, etc. But I think a good leader always gets back to their people. I think a good leader always executes. So if I sit in front of someone in my team and I say to them, look, I need you to do this, this, and this, next time we catch up, I actually open with that, but I also give my commitment back and what I've actioned out of that, and then they know there's nowhere to wiggle.
Yep,
we have an ethos of excellence of execution, and I think people know that getting shit done is non-negotiable with me. But I also think empathy is incredibly important.
Yeah, absolutely. And what would you say are the top 3 pieces of advice that you would give to an agent starting out in the business now?
Get rid of the energy vampires in your life because they'll suck the life out of you. Industry does that sometimes anyway with what you have to face every day. I don't know if you find another industry where you've got to call 100 people or door knock 100 people and you might get,
one or two.
Once.
Yeah.
So I think that's super important. And your vibe attracts your tribe. So making sure that, whether it be mentoring or coaching or conferences or wherever you go, that you are doing that. So if you've got negative Nancy's in your office, at least you're able to have that community, which we were talking about earlier today, that you can go and revitalise and have that energy and keep your batteries charged.
Oh, absolutely. Your tribe. You've got to have your tribe where you can actually give them a call and they pick you up a little bit and say, you're doing the right thing. And I understand completely.
Yeah. And authenticity.
Yep. So
staying true to you and your values. Good decisions aren't always popular is my big belief. And I think the third one is do what you love. So if you're in it for the wrong reasons, that will show to the client. And wearing your heart on your sleeve, I think, is important. But measuring that emotion. So when I say wearing your heart on your sleeve, it is a hard industry, and going up and down like that is tough. Do that with your tribe, but don't do it in front of your customer. They want passion, they want enthusiasm, they want someone's going to come in and solve their problem.
And
we have bad days, right? And people often sell because of divorce or death or other problems. When you go in, they don't need someone else coming in with a problem.
100%.
So that high energy, and that will attract business as well, even if you haven't got the experience and you're starting out.
Yep.
When I was 21 and got into sales, I had no experience and I kept getting knocked down. But my energy and my passion got me the business every time, and I don't think people should ever underestimate that.
Yeah, 100% agree. And who inspires you, Kylie Walsh?
My mum and dad are probably my biggest inspiration. They're hardworking people, they're authentic, they worked their butt off all their life to always give us kids everything that we needed and a great education. But the people I work with, I mean, my team's amazing, and I think getting to that age and being non-negotiable on values is super important. And I've got their back, they've got mine, and same for the boss. So I think that's important. But people that I meet in this business, I mean, I think real estate gets a really bad rap, but I look back 10-15 years ago and we really have progressed such
100%.
a long way. And the level of business, not real estate, but the level of business acumen now is astounding. And you only had to go to that conference in New Zealand last year to realise that the level of people around the table, they're not $2 and $3 million turnover businesses anymore, 10, 20,
Huge.
30 million, like it's incredible. So they're my three.
Great. And what does the future hold for Di Jones?
Look, I think growth, and if we said yes to every opportunity that came our way, we'd kind of lose our way. So staying true to that migration data that I was talking about before, but our 3 points of difference being around that migration, the centralised database and our tech. If we want to keep those 3 points of difference, and it's really important that we keep control of our ecosystem and we're non-negotiable on things when people come in. And that'll sort itself out. People are either attracted to it or not, and they will understand it or they don't understand it. So yes, definitely growth and expansion. Watch this space.
That's exciting. We will be. Thanks so much for joining us today on Top of Their Game, Kylie. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Until next time, everyone.